friends, today we are going to do something cool from the 1 million ideas I have for doing videos. And this one is using random words as collage inspiration, number 79. I don't have a pen to mark it. So we're going to mark off 79. Well, years ago, I went through a whole bunch of magazines and picked out words, and I've never used them. And I'm like, oh, maybe we could use these random words. This is a scrapbook.com folder. I love these plastic folders for saving collage pieces because it keeps them safe. I mean, these have been in that for years, and they're fine. I also had this cute woman who I love just the way she is, and I didn't want to really change her, so I'm going to leave her that way. And then I have this giant gem that I'm also thinking we might be able to use. I'm thinking maybe a black and white, black and blue and white, whatever. And then, you're never going to believe this. This is so dang cool. I can't even with this, but Dina Wakley made a journal out of an old ledger book that's quality paper that you can collage on and not worry about. And I was in love, and I couldn't even wait to see it. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's like... it's glorious. How fun is that? So we already kind of have a fun background started. I'm going to work on this page. Let's get our stuff on top and think about, you know, kind of what shapes and colors and things we're going to use for this collage. Oh, look, I have a school bus. Interesting. So, picking up the pieces, that could be a good one. Does that capture the heart? Get away. Ooh, that's fun. We could use getaway with the school bus. Maybe we'll do a couple of them. Best. The best. Over there. Number. I just love numbers. The must have been a big word. Wait, is it the best again? The best. Rewarded. See me. That could be great for this. See me. Creativity. Yes, they can. Jabber jabber. The big ice. Ooh, big ice. That is big ice, huh? Kind of fun. Some words. Get your good going. I just thought those were cool letters. Are those more cool letters? Those are more cool letters. Beauty. Happy. Now. See me now. That's cool. Oh, there's a baby one. Sprinkle one on. Unforgettable. Unforgettable. We're going to put that there for now. Dang it, I'm singing on the internet again. Difference. Truly evil. But that's pink. I don't really want pink. Don't break the rules, change them. I kind of like hope for the perfect getaway. Those are big numbers, huh? Big since day one. Don't ever throw away your stuff, because maybe someday you would want it. Maybe I'll do this whole book with ideas. Love season, unreal. Okay, I think I have enough. So I'm going to keep my bigs together at the top. I'm going to keep these guys together. I don't know if this is the right thing, so we're going to put this over here. Where's our envelope? Beep, 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 beep. Get all these sorted out again. Put them back in their envelope. I think I cut them, if I'm remembering right, I cut them to fit in the envelope, and that's why just a few of them are folded. So now, let's take her, and if we put her kind of down here, I believe, so this doesn't really go. We're going to put that back in the envelope. Okay, I don't think I believe is right. But if we go with See Me Now, Unforgettable Good Girl, we're all in black and white, right? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Tim Holtz snips. Those are not my Tim Holtz snips. These are my Tim Holtz snips. And I tell you all the time, if I only had one craft supply for magazine collage or general collage or journaling, it would be Tim Holtz snips. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go around the whole outside of this. And I want to have kind of a border because I don't want to cut into the words. And I don't worry about it being super equidistant. In fact, I'm probably more willing to make it wonky because then if it's a little wonky here and there, you don't really notice. Where if you tried to make it perfectly equidistant, then the wonky bits. Oh, I have my glasses. Yay, me. Oh, look at that. I can see so much better. Imagine that. Come around here. And I'm thinking this might be a glue book or a smash book rather than a junk journal or a magazine collage. So what is the difference? Well, a smash book or a glue book is where you're just finding things that you think are cool and gluing them down without kind of altering them. So when I do the magazine collages, I might give the ladies big heads. I might paint their clothes. Where this is going to be more about expressing an idea. I'm going to cut these apart because these are going to be separate words. I'm not going to try to keep See Me together. This is more about expressing an idea with what you're gluing down rather than really creating. I don't know if that's right. I'm creating something, but I'm not doing it in a way where I have to do a lot of the work. I'm collaging in that I'm bringing a bunch of different elements together that I find interesting, but I'm not changing those elements as I collage them. And I would say a smash book or a glue book is more about collecting things that you find interesting than making interesting things yourself. That's my impression. Okay, I'm going to finish up Me and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I see how Me looks, I want to come in here and make this more cut out. And this is why it's good that we didn't try to make it perfectly equidistant, because this, we're going to have to cheat this corner. Oh yeah, I love that way better. And then I'm going to come in to the end and cut around this. Okay, and the only one in the middle, I'm not going to try to cut the middles out of those little ones, but I do want to cut the middle out of this. So if you poke it and you go over to where you want to start cutting, so sometimes it's super easy to cut from the top, and occasionally I find that it's easy. I don't know when. It's a mystery, but sometimes it's easier to cut from the top and sometimes it's easier to cut from the bottom. This time the top was fine. See Me Now, or Now See Me. I want Now See Me. Oh, I like See Me Now. See Me Now. Well, that may not work because we may not have enough. Yeah, we're going to have to do Now See Me. Oh, I like that better. See how it's kind of starting as a composition. I like that better because you're going from the top where it's wider down to the bottom. Just aesthetically pleasing to me. Do I want it left justified? See, for me, I prefer my collages and things to overlap, to be connected in different ways. And so I wouldn't want none of the words up there to be connected to this gal. So I am going to do it that way. All right, I'm going to use Nuvo glue because I like Nuvo glue the best for gluing magazine collage papers. I have a whole video where I test glues on magazine collage paper, and Nuvo and Lawn Fawn, I think, are the two that won. And they're the ones that I go back to time and again. Let's say now, maybe move it over a scooch. And you always want to start from the middle and push outwards. And that way your papers you're gluing down will be flat rather than having wrinkles in them. And for this, I am trying to get out to the edges of the letters. Watch out, honey. Okay. And that is just what... I tend to like my letters or my words lined up. You could cant them, make them tippy. Like that would give it a whole different feeling. Kind of more madcap, or how you place things can really change the idea of what is your intention for your piece of artwork. And I'm going to put her right there. So glad I figured out something to do with her. I have been working on a magazine collage book in the background about what would Jesus say, with all kinds of nice quotes from Jesus or other apostles or proverbs, things from the Bible. And I had her in that bunch. The only bad thing is sometimes you lose your tiny pieces of paper. There she is. Okay, there we go. And she's down nice and good. We'll cut this edge off when she's drier. Okay, so for this one, I don't think I'm going to, on script, I like to go around. On something like, this is a serif font, so this is Times New Roman, or a derivative of Times New Roman. And on those, I like to make it more square and formal. And I want to get a bigger pair of scissors so that I can make long straight cuts. If I use those tiny snips, it would be harder to make long straight cuts around this. So think about that when you're choosing your scissors for cutting out your words. And then I'm going to do just a little snip there. All right. Now this one, let's get it cleaned up, because obviously I did not do a good job. I just pulled it out, right? So now let's take a peek. And I do think I'm going to go, because it's upper and lowercase, I do think I'm going to go straight where it's straight, at least on the bottom, and emphasize that G. I love a nice G. I'm a font nerd, so this idea of looking at words is amazing to me. Okay. Unforgettable. And see, this is what happens when you do little scissors. See how it kind of started drifting down? Where if we use a big scissors, we can go further straight. Okay, now let's think about the top. First off, we can cut it straight and see if we like it, right? So we're going to get our big scissors. We're going to go along the top. Okay. Well, that doesn't feel very exciting. Just a tiny bit too much on that side compared to the other side, which would bother me. And we're going to go not around the letters, but straight in the divots. And it's, if you're playing along, you get to pick where you go. I'm not going to go between the two above the stroke lines. And don't forget, you can always do it first. And then if you wanted to go back and do the 2 B and L or whatever your letters are. And if you're sad I'm shaking, I shake. It's just a fact of life. I work on the computer and on crafts all day long. And so there is shakeage. All right, so now we got a big long stretch of lowercase letters with no above the line. And yes, I would use the long scissors, but this is so fine work that you really need to use a small pair of scissors to get in here. And we drifted. Let's clean that up. And then I'm going to do this N, and we shall be ready to glue. Now, I like my works to mean something to me, not necessarily something to everybody, but to me. And I love the idea that this lady isn't what her time typically would have been a, quote, good girl. So for me, it has a certain appeal. Now, for other people, one that comes to mind is Diane Reevely. She never does stuff with a story in her head. She says she does everything with just to be silly. That is not how I do it, but it's fine. Oh, look how nice it was. Look, I can follow that little line at the front and make sure that's straight. And then I can follow a line down here. I think I am going to line this up. Well, do I want it equidistant? Oh, I do think I center justified, left justified. I kind of think because I almost have that center justified, I might want this just from a graphic design standpoint to be center justified. You could do it left justified. It would be fine. Let's not rub the glue off until the glue underneath is dry. Okay, I love that. Okay, so our glue parts are on. We're going to flip this. Oh, there's still wet glue. Oh, no, not wet glue. Okay, here we go. Cute. Okay, so things I could do just to amuse myself. I could doodle around. You don't have to do anything else. In a glue book or in a smash book, this could be absolutely enough and you don't have to worry about doing anything else. I tend to like to do some extra stuff just because I'm a fiddler and a doodler. So I could think about, look, I glued my stencils together last time. Me. Okay, I love a Harlequin. And I'm going to put a little bit of Harlequin magic on this. I'm going to, just to make it easy for me, I'm going to line this up right along this edge so I know it's going to be fine. And then I'm going to take that Posca pen that I just had. It could be a little dry. Harlequin circle. And you do want to hold the stencil down right to the paper or it could get a little... And now I want to dry this off because if I put it down, and we know it's going right along the edge of the paper, like that, and I'm going to keep going over her to help connect some more things. Oh, it's just hard to see. It's there, but when it dries, it's matte, so I can see it. Now, we could figure out, do we want to put this down both sides, just one side? We could make it a border, right? But then it feels to me like it would kind of be competing with this up here, and that's not what I want. I'm going to do it this way. So where's the circle? Okay, here's the circle. I can just see it because it's super matte. Okay, so we're going to go this way. So I like that. I like that bend there, and I like the concept. But I do not want to go all the way around on this page. Just, it's not for me. Go put this away now. And another thing I'm going to do is start going around and outlining the cut part of this to make this more pronounced from the background. Okay, and you want to remember when you get to a point where it's uncomfortable for you to do it, you need to turn your book rather than contorting your hand to get it to work in your favor. Okay, so now I feel like I could do this circle, and this is already cut out, but I did a little bit up the one up there that wasn't cut out. That's fine. I still think the E's are too little to do, like it would just be a line, right? Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I think I'm going to outline her. And you got to kind of chase where you already did, right? So I did this, so I can come over here and do this right, but I don't want to come over here and do this left. So I'm going to give it a second, but while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to fill these in. And this is a Posca pen PC1MR. This is my favorite Posca pen for doing any kind of doodling. Okay, I'm going to flip this around so I can do this part without touching anything that I just painted. And I think one of the things that I like the best about doing a book like this is that it's quick. You can have a quick and easy page. You don't have to be all, fancy and collected a ton of stuff. You can pull together some stuff that you find interesting and then do whatever you like to do. Like I like to doodle. Maybe you don't like to doodle. Don't doodle. Maybe you like to doodle a lot more than I like to doodle. Then you go crazy pants and do a ton, right? So this is kind of a cool project because when you find things that you adore, what happened? Did we get glue on our pen? We got glue on our pen, so we gotta be careful. Some of the glue must still be wet somewhere. If your Posca pen stops working, there's a good chance you just got glue on it. Then you're just gonna have to prime it again real good, and I would prime it again before you put it away, just to try to get as much of that glue off as possible. And to me, for right now, this page is done. It is cute and fun. It has a something for me. Hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.